how to make one of my cheeses. This is paprika chili that I'll be making, and it's very easy. What you do need to have is Rejuvelac. I'm not sure if you can see this. I make my own Rejuvelac, and that's going to give your cheese that nice, stinky, strong cheese that people are accustomed to. And like I said, it's very easy. So I already have some almonds that I've pre-soaked, and they've been soaking longer than a couple of days. I would say about a week. But you want to keep an eye on it. You want to keep rinsing the water, and this also adds to the fermenting stage of the cheese you're going to be making. It just makes the cheese that much stronger. And so here's my 2 cups that I'm going to add into my Vitamix. And as you can tell, it looks like you've got way more than just 2 cups because they've been soaking for a week. And with this, we're going to add 1 clove. And we're going to need some starch. What I do use is tapioca. And I'm going to put in 4 teaspoons. That's 4 teaspoons of tapioca starch. We're going to need some nutritional yeast, and I just put about a couple of pinches. And now we're going to put in our Rejuvelac. So we need at least a 1/4 cup of Rejuvelac. We might need a little more, but we're going to start off with just a 1/4 cup. And instead of adding extra water, we're just going to add extra Rejuvelac if we need more. So here's our 1/4 cup of Rejuvelac. And that gives it that nice strong, almost like a goat cheese. And salt. Okay, it's a gray salt. I'm using my pink salt container, but what I am using is gray salt. And this is loaded with minerals. So I did put a teaspoon of salt, and it seems like a lot, but in reality it really isn't, because when you're going to have a piece of cheese, you're only going to have a little bit of cheese. You're not going to eat the whole form of cheese. You're just going to have a little bit on a cracker, so it's really not going to be too much salt when you're taking it in. And like I said, the Rejuvelac gives it that nice strong goat taste. I'll show you on another video how to make Rejuvelac. But it's really easy. All you need a little bit of wheat berries, and you're going to let that ferment. And you're going to keep using the same wheat berries until you know that the wheat berries can't be used anymore. And that you're going to refrigerate and use it every time you make cheese. So let's continue with the cheese now. And we're going to mix this up. Okay, I'm using a high-powered blender, because you want this cheese to be nice and creamy. If you don't have a high-powered blender, you might have little bits of nuts in your cheese, and you do want it to be nice and creamy. So you're going to start this on a low setting, and then you're going to slowly speed it up. Now, because my nuts have been soaking for a week, we're going to need a little extra water. So we will put in just a little bit more Rejuvelac into the mixture. Not too much. And we're going to continue getting it nice and creamy. get as creamy as you can get it. And it could even be a little saltier. But again, that's up to you. But I will add a little extra salt. Now this cheese is very simple, and it's because we're going to coat this in paprika and chili. So you want the cheese to be as simple as possible. And we're going to just beat this up a little more. Okay, so I'm not sure if what I missed, but I'm going to repeat myself just in case. You can put this cheese in a nut bag, but you're really not going to lose a lot because we made it nice and thick. So we're not even going to let it drip overnight. What I'm going to do is put it in a bowl, and we're going to let it ferment for at least a day, somewhere where it's not hot but it's nice and warm. And you keep it covered, and that's going to ferment it even longer. Like I said, we had it in the fridge for at least a week. We did change the water, but it did age the nuts a little because you want this to be a strong, nice, aged flavoring cheese. So now I have it, I'm going to have it in a bowl, and I'm going to cover it, and I'm going to let it age a little longer. And that's going to give it a nice, strong, almost like a goat cheese. My sister got me a tool to get all the cheese out at the bottom of this Vitamix, but I can't find where I put it. So I'm going to do my best to get all the cheese out so I don't waste any of it. But I'll do that later. I'm just going to show you what I do. Okay, so I'm just going to cover with some cellophane, and I'm going to put this aside and let it ferment a little longer. Okay, you want to just place it on top, but do not seal your plate. You just want it that no particles will fall on top of your plate. And you just put this aside, and you're going to let that ferment for at least another day next to a warm place. And then you're going to take it, and you will seal it, and you're going to refrigerate it overnight. And that's going to firm it up a little so you can maneuver it into the shape you want. So I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so we're going to prepare the coating for our cheese. We're going to need some paprika, and we're going to need some nice chili flakes. Okay, so we're going to take a bowl or a Tupperware. There we go. So we're going to put a nice handful. I'm not sure if you catch this, because I would say about a quarter cup of chili flakes and about the same amount paprika. And this is going to be your mixture. So it's that easy. You put that aside, and when you're ready for your cheese, you have it nice and prepared. And we're going to coat our cheese with it. So we've got chili and paprika ready. So when our cheese is done fermenting, we're going to be able to coat, and I'll show you how easy it is to coat our cheese. Okay, so welcome back, and I'm going to show you how to get this cheese going. So we do need some parchment paper. I also took another sheet of parchment, and I'm going to cut them in, not sure if you can see it, in some squares, which is going to be our base for our cheese. And there's our squares, and we're going to lay our cheese on this when we're done. So right now we need some parchment paper. We're going to need some cellophane, and here's our cheese. And this is our cheese that we had fermented overnight, and then I refrigerated it so I could form the shape that I want. Now I need another piece of plastic that I'm going to use. Okay, so when I'm selling this cheese, I do use a scale to make sure that they're all the same size. But for this demonstration, I'm just going to make it by eye. So we're going to add some of our mixture onto our cellophane. And then we're going to take another cellophane that we're going to put in our hand, and we're just going to, now this depends on how big you want your cheese to be. If you're doing little cheeses to give as gifts, then you do need a scale and you want to measure it out so that they all come even. But like I said, for this demonstration, I am just going to do it by eye. So you want to form it into some sort of ball. Not sure if you can see what I'm doing here. And then you're going to place this right on top of your, can you see it? Let me just lower this a bit so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, there we go. So I took that ball that I formed and I just placed it right on top of the chili. And now you're going to use the one that you have on the counter, and you're going to just slowly rotate so you get that nice cheese. So you don't even need a mold. There we go. And now we're going to just quickly flip it over, and we're going to continue the same. So you've got this plastic that you're using as a guide so your hands don't get dirty, and you can shape it to whatever shape you would like. I'm going to do the traditional disc, and at the same time I'm pushing, as you can tell, I'm pushing the paprika and the chili up to the side. So you form it, and this makes a great gift, or it's just perfect for the holidays if you're having guests over and you're going to make your cheese. I do advise starting now because you want it to age longer before you do serve this. And we have our cheese ready, and here's our little paper that we did cut. We're going to need, we're just going to slowly pick that up, place it on our parchment, and we're going to put this aside for later on. I hope I caught all of that. I'm going to put this aside for later on, and we're going to put this in the dehydrator. So we're going to do this all over again. We're going to take some more cheese, place it on our plastic, our spare plastic. There we go. Form it into some form of ball. And you don't even touch it with your hands. That's the best part about it. And then we have our parchment, our plastic down on the counter. We're going to just drop it on top, press it down, and now we're going to start the procedure all over again. Push this aside. So now you lift up your plastic and you just form the shape of your cheese. You could even get creative and maybe make some round balls. And that would be something nice to do as a gift. So you can make little balls of cheese to give away as a gift or to put on your Christmas table. And we're just going to flip it over, and we're going to do it all over again. And we're going to season the other side of it. So it really is easy. And this cheese is a simple cheese, but it's it has a nice punch to it because of the heat. And it's a great table cheese if you're going to put it on some crackers, or if you have a sliced baguette. And the longer you age this, the nicer the cheese gets. If you use it now, it's too early. Your cheese is going to be too creamy. So there's the other one. And you can always fix it when you have it on the paper. I'm not sure if you can catch this. Can you see my, no you can't, right? I'll show you in a minute. Let's just continue with this, and then I'll show you how you can fix the cheese. Okay, so here we go. We're making our last one. So we did get 3 out of this batch. If I'm making cheese to sell, I make a lot more than just 2 cups. This will make you just a tad bigger, but it doesn't matter. So there we go. This is our last cheese that we're forming. There we go. And we're done with the plastic. We're going to wash and recycle that. So we do need a little extra. So I'm just going to put it on top. And this cheese will stay a long time when you're aging it. Unfortunately, it never lasts that long because it's so good. Flip it over. Continue. And just coat it all around. If you see you need some extra coating, just add it to it. Okay. I should try and stay in camera. So, like I said, you can make it as high as you want, and I prefer the height because this way, when I dehydrate it, and it does shrink, it'll go down a little. So now we have our parchment paper, and here we go. Okay, so now I'm going to save that for the next time I make cheese. I'm just picking up the plastic. You could even put the whole plastic in there because you could reuse the same plastic, or wash it, recycle, and start over again. Okay, so we'll put this aside. Alright, now we have our 3 cheeses that we made, and this is 2 cups of almonds. So to get that cheese in height, it's not going to stick to your hands anymore because of the coating. Just keep turning and you're going to get the height that you need. Here we go. Next one. There's the height. And this is going to go into the dehydrator. So it was very easy, wasn't it? And this is going to go onto my sheet. Maybe I should just check something. Okay, so we've shaped it. And now we're going to place it on our sheet. And we're going to put this to dehydrate. I'm going to put this in the dehydrator. I'd say about 115. So it's going to keep your nuts raw. It's still a raw cheese. But I'll tell you something. Anybody who eats this cheese, let them be a raw foodist or not, they're going to love this cheese because it really reminds them of a nice, strong goat cheese. So there you go. It's easy. We're going to put this in the dehydrator, and we're going to dehydrate it for I'd say about maybe a day. So by tonight, I should be able to take this, and I should be able to take this cheese and then put it in a cool cantina, or if you don't have a cantina, you can put this in a box. I would say a paper box in your refrigerator, and it's going to last you a long time. Now you want this to ferment for at least a month before you serve this, because you want this to be more of a firmer cheese. It's not going to be firm per se like a hard cheese, but when you cut it, you're going to be able to cut slices. And I'll show you an example of my it's going to be somewhat as firm as this one. And as you can tell, this is my blue cheese. It's going to be firm, but yet still soft inside. But you could actually put this on a cracker if you have some nice dehydrated crackers, or just on a baguette. So it's really delicious. This is my blue cheese, but your spicy paprika will be identical to that in firmness, but you have to not touch it and keep it in a cool place till it dries up even more. So if you like this recipe, give us a thumbs up, and I'll be adding more recipes for you to enjoy. Thank you.